Here is the story of Noah. Noah was a godly man. He was without blame among the people of his time. He walked with God. Noah had 3 sons. Their names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was very sinful in God's eyes. It was full of mean and harmful acts. God saw how sinful the earth had become. All of the people on earth were leading very sinful lives. So God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all the people. They have filled the earth with their harmful acts. You can be sure that I am going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark out of cypress wood. Make rooms in it. Cover it with tar inside and out. Here is how I want you to build it. The ark has to be 450 feet long. It has to be 75 feet wide and 45 feet high. Make a roof for it. Leave the sides of the ark open 1.5 feet from the top. Put a door in on one side of the ark. Make lower, middle, and upper decks. I am going to bring a flood on the earth. It will destroy all life under the sky. It will destroy every living creature that breathes. Everything on earth will die. But I will make my covenant with you. You will enter the ark. Your sons and your wife and your sons' wives will enter it with you. Bring 2 of every living thing into the ark. Bring male and female of them into it. They will be kept alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird will come to you. 2 of every kind of animal will come to you. And 2 of every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you. All of them will be kept alive with you. Take every kind of food that you will need. Store it away. It will be food for you and for them. Noah did everything exactly as God commanded. For 40 days, the flood kept coming on the earth. As the waters rose higher, they lifted the ark high above the earth. The waters rose higher and higher on the earth, and the ark floated on the water. The waters rose on the earth until all of the high mountains under the entire sky were covered. The waters continued to rise until they covered the mountains by more than 20 feet. Every living thing that moved on the earth died. The birds, the livestock, and the wild animals died. All of the creatures that filled the earth also died, and so did every human being. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in it died. Every living thing on the earth was wiped out. People and animals were destroyed. The creatures that moved along the ground and the birds of the air were wiped out. Everything was destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark were left. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. But God showed concern for Noah. He also showed concern for all the wild animals and the livestock that were with Noah in the ark. So God sent a wind over the earth, and the waters began to go down. The springs at the bottom of the oceans had been closed. The windows of the skies had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water continued to go down from the earth, and at the end of the 150 days, the water had gone down. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters continued to go down until the 10th month. On the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains could be seen. After 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark. He sent a raven out. It kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then Noah sent a dove out. He wanted to see if the water had gone down from the surface of the ground, but the dove couldn't find any place to put its feet down. There was still water over the whole surface of the earth, so the dove returned to Noah in the ark. Noah reached out his hand and took the dove in. He brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days. Then he sent the dove out from the ark again. In the evening, the dove returned to him. There in its beak was a freshly picked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the water on the earth had gone down. He waited 7 more days. Then he sent the dove out again. But that time it didn't return to him. It was the first day of the first month of Noah's 601 year. The water had dried up from the earth. Then Noah removed the covering from the ark. He saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark. Bring your wife, your sons, and their wives with you. Bring out every kind of living thing that is with you. Bring the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground. Then they can multiply on the earth. They can have little ones and increase their numbers." So Noah came out of the ark. His sons and his wife and his sons' wives were with him. All of the animals came out of the ark. The creatures that moved along the ground also came out. So did all of the birds. Everything that moves on the earth came out of the ark. One kind after another came out. Then Noah built an altar to honor the Lord. He took some of all the clean animals and birds. He sacrificed burnt offerings to the Lord on the altar. Their smell was pleasant to the Lord. He said to himself, "I will never put a curse on the ground again because of man. I will not do it even though his heart is always directed towards what is evil. His thoughts are evil from the time he is young. I will never destroy all living things again, as I have just done. As long as the earth lasts, there will always be a time to plant, a time to gather the crops. As long as the earth lasts, there will always be cold and heat. There will always be summer and winter, day and night." God continued, "My covenant is between me and you and every living thing with you. It is a covenant for all time to come. Here is a sign of the covenant I am making. I have put my rainbow in the clouds. It will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Sometimes when I bring clouds over the earth, a rainbow will appear in them. Then I will remember my covenant between me and you and every kind of living thing. The waters will never become a flood to destroy all life again. When the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it. I will remember that my covenant will last forever. It is a covenant between me and every kind of living thing on earth." So God said to Noah, "The rainbow is the sign of my covenant. I have made my covenant between me and all life on earth."